random junk from the archives.
Welcome back to the Big Breakfast on Tuesday, the 16th of November. I'm Johnny Bourne. This is...
Jimmy Hughes.
Jimmy Hughes. This is Jimmy Hughes, formerly Sir Paul McCartney. Are you planning to do a Millennium Night gig?
No, that's something I'm definitely not going to do.
I suppose you don't need the money.
Well, no, it's not that, Johnny. It's a do. You've got to be at a do, not working.
Not working.
Millennium Night. Are you working Millennium Night?
Yeah, I am, all right. OK, what are you?
What are you doing then? Come on.
We're doing a show from 12:15 onwards.
Oh,
but can I just say, if you haven't...
I'll be watching.
If you feel like a party, drop down to the house. Everyone's families are going to be there.
Yeah, OK,
You won't
John,
get any hassle.
I might do that. I might just do that.
I shouldn't think the Sgt. Beatles won't even crop up. OK, so what are you planning? Are you going to have a...
I'm going to have a family do.
OK, do you know, we asked you a while ago, well, I asked you just in the last little segment, what bands you like today.
Yeah.
And have you thought?
I never thought, well, I've been trying to think. Yeah, you know, I like a lot of them. I don't really keep up, tell you the truth, you know. I was on a show the other night where Travis were on, and those are good. They're good lads.
What about Oasis?
Songs. Oasis are good. Yeah,
Would you ever listen to it and think, sounds familiar?
A little bit, just a bit, yeah. For me, it's a great tribute.
There's such a sort of back catalogue now of music that everyone's got to have been influenced by something somewhere along the line.
And the thing is, you know, Liam's called his son Lennon. You see, we're trying to work, and I'm trying to get my son to have a son and call him Lennon. Then he'll be Lennon McCartney.
OK, then you're right. Ladies and gentlemen, new to the West End. Joining me this morning in my humble shed is one of the most famous men in the world.
Where is he?
I don't know, he went earlier.
He's coming.
He gives few interviews. We're honoured to welcome Sir Paul McCartney, ladies and gentlemen.
Grovel.
Now, there are so many questions we'd like to ask you.
Yeah.
Questions of depth. We decided to do what the Big Breakfast does best, which is keep it shallow.
Yeah.
On this no-expense spared wheel are the names of people connected with different aspects of your life. This is as shallow a way you can get of interviewing a man of greatness as possible. We really pulled out all the stops to make this worthless television.
Yeah.
OK, here we go. I'm going to spin you ready to spin the wheel of cheapness?
I'm ready, if you are.
Work, wheel of cheapness, work. Oh, look how cheap that is. Look at this. Oh, I spin the wheel of cheapness. Sorry.
The wheel.
David Bowie.
David Bowie. Well, he's a good lad.
Buttery.
He's very good, David. Story about David.
I've got down here, I might get it here. You painted a portrait of David entitled Spewing Bowie.
That is true. What happened is I do a bit of painting.
Are you good?
I'm brilliant.
Oh, I've never seen any of your art.
with it. No, I'm all right. But, you know, it's not for me
your
to say.
Love to see your actions.
Not for me to say, Johnny. I've had mixed reviews, you know.
I've had a mixed bag.
Mixed bag of reviews. Yeah, I did a picture that I kind of make these pictures up like faces and stuff, and then I title them just so that I can remember which one. People say, "Well, I like that picture." I say, "Which one?" I say, "Number 503." Well, I'm never going to remember, so I just stick a title on it and sort of say Bowie spewing. So then it was going to be exhibited at the exhibition I did in Germany recently. So I had to write to him, "Dear Dave,
do you mind?
No hard feelings, love, but I've done this picture." And he said, "Send it over, you know, give us a gander," were his exact words. So I did. I sent him the thing. He said, "Nice one." And he said, "No problem whatsoever."
Is he a pal of yours, Dave?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I don't know him that well, but I've known him on and off for many, many a year.
I've met him once. His eyes are strange, aren't they?
Yeah, somebody hit him when he was a kid or something. In fact, I met the guy who hit him recently. It's his claim to fame. He said, "Oh, I might say I'm the guy who gave Bowie the funny eyes." Well, that's very nice to know.
It's a great claim to fame. That's brilliant. There we go. So we got a good story.
We got an anecdote.
So, OK, it's shallow, yes.
It's
but look what we brought out. Look what we did.
Yes.
OK, shall we spin it?
Let's spin it again.
Wheel of cheapness. What next? OK.
Michael Jackson, man.
What's he like?
He's a good lad.
No. Whoa. Can you honestly say Michael Jackson? He's a good lad.
I thought we were keeping it shallow. John.
OK, fair enough.
No, he's. I don't know him so well these days. We're kind of fallen out a little bit over one or two things, but
What are you falling out over?
Oh,
Beatles songs.
Yeah.
Because he owns them all, doesn't he?
Well, he actually only owns half of them now. I think it's dwindling fast or something. So it's all very controversial.
If he hit hard times financially, would you attempt to buy them back off him?
Well, it's not him anymore. It's Sony. It's all moved, you know. I mean, the thing is, you know, I don't think I'd ever attempt to buy them back because you see, it cost me nothing to write them, and now they're like billions. So you can't do that.
It costs me nothing to write them.
That's true. That's true. It's a shallow statement, but it's true.
But you bought all Buddy Holly's songs.
Yeah, no, I bought those because what happened was John Lennon and I, never had our own publishing because we were too young. You know, everyone wants to get a deal, so we signed like anything and signed away all our rights and stuff. So there's no chance of me really getting them back. So as I got kind of into business a bit later, one of my advisors said, you should get into publishing. I said, well, you know. And that turned out to be Buddy's stuff, which is great, really, because, I mean, it's a business you love. I love his stuff. So it's not like I'm dealing in brushes or sheds, even, you know.
Oh, they're not the sheds, man. They're not
Although
the
sheds could be a good line of business.
Okay. Are you ready for this? We're going to spin the wheel of chickens.
I'd like a little spin of my own, actually.
Okay, do you want to spin it? You spin it. Come on, you spin the wheel of chickens. Of course you can spin the wheel. If you want to spin the wheel of chickens, you go right ahead.
Now, where's he got?
Elvis Costello sung at my wedding.
Did he?
Yeah, he did, yeah. Most moving experience of my life. I don't want to go into that because we want your story.
He's a lovely boy. Yeah, yeah, what can we say about him that hasn't been said?
Do you know, I'm going to look here, see what they've got.
Look up, see what they say about him.
So what they say is Elvis Costello. You've said that Elvis Costello is the closest writing partner to John Lennon. What makes a successful writing partnership?
What makes a successful... Both of you being good and able to write, and then honesty with each other. Because the thing is, you can't sit down with someone and they go, yeah, that's great, Paul. Wow, that's fantastic, Paul. And you write a not very good song. The thing about Elvis is he is his own man. So if I sit down with him, he'll say, no, I don't really like that. And so I'll go, well, I don't like what you just did. And we just argue.
Just automatically.
You know, so in other words, we're very honest with each other. So anything we write is something that we both like, which is handy. He's not a yes man.
So, Hannah, when you do write a song with someone, so what do? You actually sit down with them and the two of you are together?
Yeah, what I normally do is the same way I used to write with John, who's, with an acoustic guitar, with a guitar. And the interesting thing is, because I'm left-handed, they're normally right-handed, John was and Elvis is. So it's like looking at yourself in a mirror,
right.
And the same for them. Just kind of interesting. You sort of can see your chords like in a mirror. And
so that's how you used to write. That's how you used to write with John. You used to sit down there, just with the guitars, obviously. Most of your songs together, you
nearly all of them, yeah. And either one of us has got an idea for a start, and then we finish it. Yeah. You know, John would often have like the first couple of lines. I once had a girl, or should I say, she once had me. Good. And we do, and we carry on and finish it.
And it turned out it was good as well.
It was good. That was a good one, yeah. So I do the same.
Did you start blazing rounds with John while you were writing?
No.
You never sort of thought, you never, when you talk about the honesty thing, you say, that is rubbish.
No, it never occurred. I mean, the nearest we got, we used to sit down and write this way for about 3 hours normally. Then we got very bored and wanted to go home. So, but 3 hours was about the stretch. But the nearest it ever got was on a song called Drive My Car, which is beep, beep, and beep, beep.
Yeah, I know.
You know it. Well, you know, and I arrived with this fairly good tune and everything, but crappy lyrics.
What were your lyrics?
It was like, I can give you golden rings. I can give you golden rings. I can give you anything. And it was like, ooh. And we had a deep, sad moment, you know. So it was like, I'll tell you what then, look, let's just have a cup of tea and a ciggy. We were smoking then. And we'll just relax for a minute. And after that, we kind of jollied up. And I said, well, I'll tell you what then. How's about it's this girl in LA and she wants a chauffeur and you can... And then once we got that idea, it just...
You said you make up stories like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I do it like that. John and I would do it like that. George Harrison doesn't. He once said to me, he said, I don't know how you do that. You know, Desmond and Molly and all these weird characters. I just like that, like I'm a novelist. I just make them up, you know. Because yourself finds its way into songs anyway, whether you like it or not. But we do it various ways, but it would nearly always be that. Or, you know, like, for instance, showed up at his house one day. I'd driven out from London and I'd lost my licence because of a speeding offence.
Yeah,
classic. So I was being driven out there, and I just happened, as I was pulling up in John's drive, I was just talking to the driver, and I said, what kind of a week you've had? You know, have you had? Been working hard? You know, as you do. He said, I've been working 8 days a week, Paul. So I literally fell into John's house.
8 days a week, son, is what I've been doing.
Working 8 days a week. I thought,
and I've had a hard day's night.
No, that was Ringo. That was Ringo, yeah. And Ringo used to mean them. Ringo would say these mistakes, you know, he still does sometimes, but he'd just say things like, oh, it's been a hard day's night, and me and John would go,
Did he say, hey, you can have that? Do you know, I think we can spin it one last time.
You want me to spin?
Go on, you spin it, because last time we had it on Elvis Costello. That was good for us. The Queen.
The Queen.
Okay, my question about the Queen to you is, she awarded all the Beatles with an MBE. Why did you give it back?
I didn't give it back.
Didn't you give it back?
Johnny gave it back.
John gave it back.
John gave
Do you
it
know
back.
why he gave it back?
Yeah, it was like some political reasons. I think it was Biafra. The government, we were doing bad things in Biafra, and he was in a very sort of political mood, and so he sent it back. And then the other reason was because Instant Karma, which was a record, was going down the charts.
Right.
That's the other one he cited. That was as good a reason as
Good
any.
reason to hand back your MBE.
I think, you know, the truth was that the MBE is like, it's the lowest one they can offer. I mean,
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound ungrateful, because we
No,
were very well
Let's just
chuffed.
say you're coming across as exactly that.
No, but when you think of like what the Beatles had done, you know, and all this sort of stuff, and there was like various other people who maybe hadn't done as much for Britain.
Why did you accept the knighthood ceremony? Just take me through, was it an enjoyable day out or quite
Yeah, it
paranoid
was
day
good.
out?
No, it was good actually. I'll tell you the truth was, I was kind of wondering whether it's sort of the right thing to do. You know, a guy from my background.
What would be?
accepting
Why
that.
would you be reticent about doing
Well,
it?
it's just because it might change your life, you know, because everyone then, well, like, you know, you get things like that
support.
on the Big Breakfast Show. And, you know, I get a little bit embarrassed about all that sort of stuff because I don't think of myself like that. So it was just that it might change your life, you know, all the people you know say, what should I call you now, sir? But, you know, I'll tell you what it was. The good thing was, in the end, when I did go and do it, with this slightly sort of embarrassed head on, afterwards, my kids were saying, oh, it was so great, Dad, you know, seeing you, the Queen and the sword and all that. So we're so proud. That actually did it for me. I thought, yes, this is good, you know.
Listen, this album is out. Run, Devil, Run.
Yes, sir.
Includes the hit single,
No Other Baby.
which you've just seen the video of all morning. I've been in the show with Sir Paul McCartney. It's been a blast. Sir Paul, thank you very much for coming down here. Sir
Nice
Paul
one.
McCartney. You know what? This is Channel 4. You're watching The Big Breakfast. We're here, smiling on your dial every day of the week. See you later.